Good morning, Colonel Eakin, distinguished guests, family and friends. On behalf of the Army National Guard, Warrior Training Brigade, Mr. Slider, Lieutenant Colonel Hardgree, and Command Sergeant Major Rogers, welcome to the graduation ceremony for Airsoft Class 006-24. Please rise for the playing of the National Anthem.
Right, attention! All right, rest.
Please be seated. On December 11th, 1961, U.S. Army helicopter transports arrived in Vietnam, signaling the advent of airsoft operations. These operations were initially successful, but the Viet Cong soon developed measures to damage American military helicopters. To improve survivability, the Army added munitions and armament to the Huey series helicopters. This evolution of warfare in Southeast Asia led to the formation of the 11th Airsoft Division, an experimental unit formed at Fort Benning, Georgia in 1963. This new unit combined light infantry with helicopter transport and air support resources. Following training and testing, the unit was rebranded as the 1st Cavalry Division, Air Bowman. The first unit of the new division to see action was 1st Battalion, 7th Cavalry Regiment, led by Lieutenant Colonel Hal Moore. On November 14, 1965, Lieutenant Colonel Moore led his troops in the first large reduced engagement of the Vietnam War, which took place near the Vietnam border. It is known as the Battle of the Ia Drang Valley, effectively setting the stage for continued airsoft operations and the duration of the Vietnam War. These same airborne tactics are still used today, as we have seen in 2003 during Operation Stormer in Iraq. This operation involved 50 aircraft that moved over 1,500 soldiers, 200 pieces of equipment that ultimately denied the safe haven for insurgents north of Baghdad. The airsoft course is taught 3 phases. The first phase of airsoft training is the combat assault phase, where students are introduced to the Army's loitering aircraft and characteristics, air medical evacuation operations, marking and operating day and night helicopter landing zones, airsoft and pickup zone planning. An airsoft soldier has to learn the necessary skills to provide unit commanders technical expertise in air movement of planning and airsoft operations that can be applied during any movement or any mission. The second phase is dedicated to civilian operations. During this phase, soldiers learn standard support equipment, as well as proper preparation, rigging, and inspection of various pieces of equipment for external air movement. This equipment includes the M1097 Humvee, the M1101 high mobility trailer, 5K cargo net, and the A22 cargo bag. Students then apply these functional skills, demonstrating to cadre that they have the ability to execute a successful swing-load operation. We have recently seen swing-load operations in Iraq and Afghanistan that are resupplied by ground movement is not feasible due to the terrain and the tactical situation. This method of resupply has also been used in the home front during the mental response missions in the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey in 2017 and Hurricane Michael in October 2018. The largest U.S. airsoft history occurred in August of 1990 during Operation Desert Storm, where over 2,000 soldiers, 50 transport vehicles, artillery, fuel, and ammunition were airlifted 50 miles inside of Iraq. This mission would have never been possible without airsoft qualified soldiers possessing these skills. The third phase is focused on basic deploying operations, which is learn how to handle conventional propulsion, hook up to propelling ropes, form numerous propels from the 44 propel tower, culminating in propel from the UH-60 from 90 feet. Long ground level. This is the brief history of the airsoft course. Now let's focus on the future of airsoft and congratulations to the front. 12 days ago, 148 soldiers arrived with the hopes of earning the airsoft badge. With us here today are 100 airsoft soldiers that have earned the right to wear that company badge. This morning, the students completed the final graduation requirement and 12 model programs. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce today's guest speaker, Mayor David Robson, Camp Atterbury, Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mayor Robson.
How fitting that we got a bunch of aircraft right here, making it difficult for me, so I'll bring my outside voice. We've been here a little bit. So, thank you very much. Guests, visitors, family members, it's great to see this many of you here to help signify and put weight behind the significant accomplishments of what you all have done, what your soldiers have done. We have been doing this for a long time in the Army, and it's still very much relevant, being over about 70 years old, utilizing the helicopter for things. So this is a very significant accomplishment because we still use it today, as we talked about, and I'll talk a little bit about it. So I know that I'm the one standing in between you and a cold beer to get down your necks, and also you're standing on a little bit sore and shaky legs. So I'll try to wrap it up. Hopefully I say some things that resonate with you for the rest of your career. Because for me, the significance of this event was about over 30 years ago for me. And those things ring true today. It kept me going and obviously gave me a little bit of success in the military. So please, hopefully I'll say something that you can take with you. I'm a little bit older, so I gotta write stuff down, right? Good to see family members here signifying the event as well. Colonel Egan, Sergeant Major Tony Williams, Colonel Cruz retired from Captain Cruz here. That's awesome. I love it. This is a notable achievement. Possibly one of the harder courses you will see in the Army, minus of course a Special Forces selection or the Ranger course, of course. But they stress you mentally and physically in this course. I think y'all can attest to that, right? Right, gonna put a little heat on you and force you to remember things and do things technically with your hands while you're tired, while you're wet, while you're dirty. Unfortunately, that's the way the Army is, and that's what you can look forward to, especially if things get spicy. So, what this means for a lot of you, it's a young person sport. You're doing this while you're young. You don't see a lot of senior individuals in here. You've got to have that fire in your belly to motivate you to get through those tasks. But also, while you're young, this is one of the first badges for you. I don't see a lot of badges out there. Your first one, it gives you credibility amongst your peers. It gives you bragging rights because you did something that not everybody can do, right? We started with 148, we're down to 100. That means you're a class act and you're already a step above your counterparts. And that's what we desire. That's what you should pay attention to. Doing things to this level of technical specificity is what the Army desires. Keep that in mind as well. And it is never easy. Going through this course, you learn what the Army requires you to be. Right? In person, hands-on. I can say some things about COVID, but still the requirement to pass these skills from one Army generation to the next still resonates today. What it does is it teaches you that you should have a pursuit of mastery in your subject. Right? You got to next master things and go for those things that give you those skills. All right? One other aspect that's critical is you're seeing the Army model that if you get to do anything with our NATO or foreign counterparts, our model is a lot of responsibility given to us NCOs. We are the principal trainers and teachers of formation. So, Sergeant King, thank you for your professional staff and what you continue to do every day, not just here, but everywhere else y'all go. Thank you so much. All right? It's very critical in our Western Army format you'll start to pick up on this, is critical in how we enable ourselves and teach one another with the empowerment through the MCO. Last thing I'll say about that is now you have a skill that makes you the embedded subject matter expert within your formation. Just as Colonel Barlow was saying at the Pathfinder course, keep those skills honed and keep in your back pocket because you never know when you're required to use those. I got a couple points I'll talk about here in a little bit. But you may be called upon to call a bird in if something falls through just out of the blue. Coordinations fall through, and there you are. You've got the specific skill set to put your hands on the equipment and make it happen, right? We talked about how those things are going on today. Even Indiana, 1152 just got back from a mobilization where they did the majority of their resupply, the Sinai Peninsula mission up to the North Camp with air. Okay, cargo net, 822 bags, all the stuff. Still relevant today, not just all the GWAT stuff. So I'd like to touch on a few points that I've done throughout my career, right? Went through this course about 30 years ago. But since then, when I got to the 101st, a couple of years after Desert Storm concluded, they had already done that largest air assault in history. We were still doing air assault. Trained up and did a division level air assault to go into the field, that training cycle. So 9 battalions of aircraft. I don't know how many things I sling loaded because I had gotten through air assault course first. We sling loaded, jumped into the field. We were on the PZ for about 4 days straight. Sling loading stuff and sent it to the field. All right? Great exercise. Getting repetition, getting your hands on the equipment, being familiar with stuff. Not shortly after that, we were going to the field on platoon level and had a catastrophic malfunction on one of the sling sets. Cut the sling on a fully combat loaded Humvee, dropped it into the land between the lakes down there in Kentucky, Tennessee. All right, so $1.5 million piece of tow equipment. Inspection came back. Everything was good to go. Our sling counts were right. Everything was taped up right. Breakaways correct. Just like you've been taught, just like we did. But accidents happened, right? There was the critical malfunction, got to oscillating. Even though we did everything right, there was an accident. Nobody hurt, thankfully. But just keep this in mind. Even though you do things right, like I said, this is a big boy and big girl sport. Accidents do happen. So you always got to be on the watch. Make sure you're doing things as best you can to eliminate the majority of those. Next thing I'll say, 2014, jumping ahead a little bit, as a CSM for Battalion 293rd, up north here in the state, right? Like I said, sometimes coordinations fall through as a bird delivering a water buffalo to us for some resupply. There was nobody there except the bird in, guided in. Guess who jumps out there with hand and arm signals and does exactly what I was taught? Whatever math is, 20 years earlier. Made it happen, right? So keep those skills in your back pocket. Then again, fast forward again, 2017, I was working on a sea burning response element here in the state, division level headquarters. As we do we plan for response to all of Northern Command for North America in case of a chemical, biological, event. So we had to be air mobile and delivery within something like 18 hours. So we had to have our stuff rigged and certified to go on any type of aircraft, usually C-17s. So I dug back into my level of expertise, looked up some things, the Gold Book from the 101st, now WTC is the proponent for that, right? But figured out where the hookup points were on our equipment, philosophy and stuff, centers of gravity, talked to the load masters on C-17, and got ourselves squared away. So, out of the ordinary type things, not directly air assault, but it's still in your back pocket, that mastery. Then lastly, I'll say this, 2020, my last deployment, we were division headquarters. We had a little bit of trouble. We might have read about it. Soleimani was struck. We were in the in Kuwait, running division level operations. Syria, there's ongoing battle there, strife between them and Turkey. Russia's in the mix, and oil fields were being threatened, so we actually mobilized our MRF, Mobile Ready Force, which is tanks. So, we don't sling those tanks, but guess what?
Hey.
I know I'm not talking that long. Guess what? I had to call back on our, I was involved in the planning. Captain Cruz himself was on the air element there in our division staff headquarters working the plan and came up with a plan. We loaded those dang tanks and Bradleys on the C-17, flew them into Turkey, broke the damn runway on landing, and then they punched in and tried to overwatch security for the Special Forces elements. You probably saw that on the news. So, involved in the planning on that. Highlight of my career. Chaplain Gurley was there overseas with us. Yeah, came away with a great feeling because we did these things that culminate throughout your career, and we draw on you to have that expertise, so it never fades. Just because you got this learning with you right now, you will always have to draw on it. So, last things I'm going to say, take this with you. You learn what the Army wants you to be. You got to be a physical demon. You got to be hands-on. You got to master your subject. You got to embrace that fire in your belly. It's going to give you the motivation to accomplish all these things, to give you those tools in your toolkit, right? Remember this and make this a springboard for more events later in your career or around the corner. I don't know what's for you, but use this as a springboard. Challenge yourself. Do the Bataan Memorial Death March. Do the Nijmegen or the Norwegians, Manchu Milers. You've got an Army 10 miler, Marine Corps Marathon. Go to Mountain Warfare. Try to get the Pathfinder to pass. Become a rappel master. Or a master gunner, or whatever. Seek out those new challenges and utilize this as a kind of a notch on your belt to give you that that fellowship with your mates here, to gain strength, and then tackle those next things. So, last thing I'll say is I'm really proud of you. I love seeing this here. Welcome to Camp Atterbury. I'm hoping that you got all the training value that we could offer. We had cold, we had hot, we had rain, we almost had snow, but that just makes the training challenge the best for you, right? So, lastly, I wish you luck in your career. Be safe getting back home. And I will see you on the hilltop, LZ or PZ soon, right?
Thank you, Command Sergeant Major Robinson.
Flat. Butts in jump. Awardees. Close. Hold, raise, rest.
The soldiers of the front formation have gained special recognition. Their outstanding performance will be recognized by Command Sergeant Major Elders, Captain Gutierrez, and Command Sergeant Major Robinson for their accomplishments. Traditionally, the youngest member of the class is presented with an airsoft badge on the first day of training. That soldier is entrusted with ensuring these wings are carried on behalf of the entire class for all training events for the duration of the course until graduation. The wing bearer of class 006-24 is 19-year-old Private First Class Bodie from the 116th Infantry Brigade Combat Team, HHC, who is being officially awarded the wings he carried during training. The distinguished honor graduate is a student with the highest grade point average, who is also a first-time go on all tests. The distinguished honor graduate is Cadet Jonathan Morrison from the 157 Maneuver Brigade with a final GPA of 97.6%. He is being awarded the Airsoft Badge and a plaque from the Warrior Training Center for outstanding performance. The 12-mile 4 march champion is a student who completes 12-mile 4 march the fastest time. The 12 on 4 months champion is Staff Sergeant Swigert from the 1st to the 93rd ACO. With a finishing time of 2 hours and 6 minutes. He's being awarded the Airsoft Badge and coin for awarded training time for outstanding performance. The graduate of the cycle is voted upon by the students and peers for their outstanding performance and dedication. The graduate of the cycle for class 006-24 is Corporal Levine. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for these warriors. At this time, the Bravo Company Commander, Captain Gutierrez, is presenting Command Sergeant Major Robson with an honorary black hat from the Army National Guard, Warrior Training Battalion, Airsoft School, in appreciation for his outstanding support.
Class, attention. Cadre, in the wing.
If you have a soldier you'd like to wish to pin, please come forward at this time. If you need assistance, please approach a cadre member. As a reminder to guests, to take your blood weight and start the feet as a rite of passage is prohibited according to Army Regulation 600-1.
2-4. Dismiss.